Hi everybody, I'm Hannah from Grounded Live, and welcome to this Wednesday lunchtime live. So we don't have the other Hannah with us. We don't have the other Hannah with us today. She couldn't join us today, and it kind of feels like I'm missing a limb without her. But I'm happy to guide you through this practice today. So some of you, when you see this post, you may have seen the post that I put on yesterday, which was the inspiration for today's breathwork practice, this breath break. And the inspiration came from the plant, the Stingy Nettle, actually. And I've only just started to learn about this plant. And what I'm finding so interesting is that the more time that I spend informing myself about the Stingy Nettle, then the more I'm receiving from it. So the more presence that I'm giving the plant, the more that it's opening up for me. Yeah, because before, the only thing I knew about a stingy nettle is that it was a bit prickly in character. It was to be avoided. Watch out for that stingy nettle. And now my whole perception and attitude has changed around the plant. I actually care more about this plant. My energy towards the plant has shifted. So taking the time to learn its behaviours and to understand more about the stingy defence mechanism that it has and why it's there, I find myself in a new and deeper relationship with this plant, and I'm able now to access the plant's kind of truer essence, which is really of great versatility and deep nourishment. I'm making teas, I'm putting it in my smoothies, I'm finding new recipes. And I'm really finding this very metaphoric, because this got me thinking to people and their behaviours, people's defence mechanisms, what often lies on the other side of a prickly character or a comment or a reaction. I pondered on my own behaviours and character traits, which are, intricately linked to protective mechanisms that I would have established at some time in my life, consciously or unconsciously. Yeah, and it got me to thinking also about all the gifts that we hold inside. So our natural gifts, not the things that we are learning or obtaining from the outside, but the gift of our true essence. So the gift of our life force, the gift of our hearts. And we have nourishing gifts and an abundance of resources that live within us that we might not feel is accessible or even visible to us much of the time. So the Stingy Nettle really inspired me this week and got me thinking that perhaps the gifts that we have could emerge more freely and more fully when we stepped into a more loving and understanding relationship with ourselves. When the spiky parts of ourselves feel safe or safer to soften through our own holding and reassurance and understanding. So just a couple of seeds of reflection. It might land, it might not, but we're going to begin our breathing practice now. So thank you for all the waves, and I hope that you found yourself somewhere that is comfortable, that you can sit down, that you are unlikely to be disturbed. That is safe for you to close your eyes or just hold a soft gaze. Now, if anyone who's watching this is familiar with conscious connected breath work and you have done it before and you have an established breath practice, you can feel free to do this breath pattern here, but do it softly. I'm going to be breathing through my nose and for the practice, and I welcome you to join me with that. Let's take a moment before we start, and I just want you to notice how you are breathing right now. So gently close your eyes, and before you change anything about your breathing, about your posture, simply take your attention inward. And just watch yourself. How are you breathing right now, naturally? Where are you breathing now? So can you notice if it's in the upper chest, or perhaps you're breathing into the belly, perhaps the sides of the body are moving? Where can you feel it without changing it? How many seconds do you roughly breathe in and out for without changing how you're naturally breathing right now? And how does it feel? Is it comfy? Is it in flow, or is it restrictive, stifled in any way? Notice any thoughts that come in, especially any prickly ones of judgment about how you're breathing. It's actually not important how you're breathing right now. It's about exercising the muscle of observation. So just observe. And now we are going to start to bring in a more conscious breath. So I'm going to invite you to place your hands on your tummy, below your belly button, somewhere comfortable. Feel your hands there. Feel the contact. And start to breathe into this area. So simply with the intention of bringing the breath more deeply into the body and making it a little fuller, perhaps slowing it down. Feel the movement of your breath under your hands as you breathe more with the diaphragm, which in turn allows the tummy to expand and rest with each inhale and exhale. Making the breaths a little fuller each time. We're going to take the hands and we're going to bring them to the sides. So bringing them to the sides so you can feel the bottom ribs. And we're going to keep breathing. This time perhaps noticing the movement that's coming out, the lateral movement, as the lungs move with the breath, expanding out to the side, noticing the quality of movement under your hand and the feeling of your breath. Relaxing the shoulders. Relax the jaw. taking your hands to your back body. So just placing them on your back, on your lower back. This is really a place that can get overlooked. You know, our lungs actually take up a good deal of space, especially on the posterior part of our body. So feeling the sensation of breathing into the back body. Just following the way the body moves with your breath. And now we have brought in a more expansive breath through connecting with these parts. Just bringing your hands down and noticing any differences in your breath to when you first started. How does it feel for you now? Come back to the jaw and just relax the jaw. You let it go on the exhale. It can be very micro, but just relax the jaw. Release. Maybe move from side to side. Maybe let out a sigh. Come back to the breath. Inviting some very small micro movements in the neck. So maybe bringing the chin down a little bit, lengthening the back of the neck. Perhaps you want to just move your wrists, just very slowly. The ankles, the fingers, the toes. Just make sure we're all here. And that you're breathing with every part of you. So notice any part of your body that doesn't feel here, and maybe offer some touch. Bring the breath to it, welcome it all in. Gonna breathe with all of us. From the back of the knees to the pelvis to the little finger, the back of the neck. Hopefully starting to find a rhythm of breath that is good for you. Maybe this is a count of 5 in and 5 out. Maybe it's a count of 4 or 3. Just make sure you are inviting the breath more deeply into your body. That you are taking up more space within yourself with your breath. Making sure you're breathing at a comfortable pace. So we'll be here for another 10 minutes. we'll start to focus a little bit more on the movement of our breath now. Let us just recommit to that focus of watching our breath as it moves in and out of your body. Slowing it down so you can observe every moment. Every inch of space that the breath takes up on the inhale, and every part of you that softens on your exhale. Observing your flow of breath and anything else that is here. So notice what sensations are alive within your body right now. Which parts of you are speaking to you through the language of sensation? And what are they saying? Making sure you stay connected to the earth, feeling the ground beneath you. And as we stay here now and breathe together in this way for a moment in space and time, there is a soft invitation to just bring into observation any parts of yourself that feel a bit prickly, as inspired by the stingy nettle. Any parts of yourself that holds a sting. And we're just being creative here, so whether this is physical, perhaps there's an ache or pain in the body that's showing up for you right now. Perhaps in the way that you move sometimes it will create a sensation to remind you. And perhaps it's emotional, or in your current behaviors. Perhaps the prickly part that comes to mind or heart is in the way that you talk to yourself. The pressure that we can put on ourselves to be a certain way. Just take a moment This open invitation to just bring anything into your observation that feels a bit prickly in your world right now. Staying connected with your breath, this soft, easy flowing breath. And whatever you have brought into your observation, we are just going to hold it in sight. Let's take a conscious breath with it, really expanding the breath on the inhale, softening on the exhale. And we're going to make some space and time here for this prickly part of us. And if you are willing, it feels okay, I invite you to open up a little dialogue with this space. So you can repeat after me to yourself. Maybe as I talk, some other self-enquiry questions or dialogue questions come to mind. So, prickly part, I see you. I feel you. Thank you for your message of protection. May I try to understand more fully how you came to be. And what you need in order to feel less prickly. So that I may remember the gifts that you hold. Just notice how that dialogue sits and what else comes back to you, be it words, sensations, sounds, or imagery. allow there to be no limitations on this. Staying with the breath, reconnecting with your breath. Breathing into any exterior parts so that we can connect more to the essence underneath. And in that, connecting more to our essence, our breath. To ourselves. Because just like the stingy nettle, there is an abundance of nutrients and remedies within. And you hold an abundance of medicinal properties for yourself, for your communities, for the planet. Simply by connecting with yourself and remembering who you are. And in that remembering, there is breath. So simply by breathing in this way is an act of remembering. And I'm going to invite you to place your hands back on your tummy, and we're going to take a deeper inhale through the nose, fresh breath, so feel the freshness of the air as it comes in. Hold the breath at the top for a moment, soften into the breath hold, drop the shoulders, relax the back of the neck, and exhale with a sigh. Again, breathing in through the nose, holding at the top for a moment. Feel that moment of breathlessness before exhaling with a sigh. Let the jaw go. We do this one more time. Deeply inhaling through the nose and exhale, softening into the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, the wrists, blinking the eyes open. Keep the focus soft, maybe down to the floor, and then you might want to open and look around the room, coming back, refamiliarizing yourself with the space that you're in. Closing the practice in a way that feels good for you. So however that is for you, to just close your practice, thanking yourself for connecting with your breath in this way. And thank you for joining us, and we'd love to hear any comments about how you found that. any questions that you have. Thank you. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.